can happen in boxing. We've seen this. We've seen this. Manny Pacquiao isn't immune to this. He's been knocked out. He's been hit. He's not Floyd, who has been hardly hit. Like, he's been knocked out cold.
Maybe a little better, but Floyd was a better fighter out of all of them. Manny Pacquiao was good too, with the fast hands for that, but he was easy to hit. And
Floyd Mayweather's camp has reportedly leaked previously unseen sparring footage of Manny Pacquiao being knocked down, sparking renewed concerns about the Filipino legend's health and longevity in the sport. The clip shows Pacquiao absorbing a series of heavy shots before his trainer steps in to halt the session, raising questions about whether, at 46, he's still able to withstand the demands of elite-level boxing. Meanwhile, former world champion Victor Ortiz has added his own insight into Pacquiao's intense training environment. Reflecting on a past sparring session with Manny, Ortiz praised Freddie Roach's coaching but focused on Pacquiao's unique energy in the ring. He described the experience as unlike anything he'd ever faced, highlighting Manny's relentless pace and unpredictability. Though Ortiz avoided naming a clear winner, the way he spoke hinted at just how humbling it may have been. With recent sparring footage of Manny Pacquiao surfacing online, fresh debate has ignited over the risks tied to his possible return to the ring. The video captures Pacquiao in high-intensity exchanges but also reveals flashes of vulnerability that have raised red flags among fans and experts alike. At 46, moments where he appears slower or absorbs avoidable shots have sparked concern about his long-term health. While many applaud his heart and relentless drive, others worry that another comeback could do more harm than good, both to his body and to the legacy he spent decades building. The question now isn't just whether he can still compete, but whether he should.
Spar Manny Pacquiao? Spar Manny Pacquiao? Around that time?
yeah.
How's Manny Pacquiao?
Oh man, we worked so much together. Freddie Roach, I can quote him, he said that the best fight, sparring he's ever seen in his life has been me, Manny Pacquiao.
Really?
Yeah.
How does Victor match against Manny?
It was a great sparring session and one of the best I've ever seen.
You say you knocked out Manny Pacquiao.
I don't know what that means. I have amnesia.
When Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather finally collided in 2015, it was more than a boxing match, it was a clash of icons from different eras and divisions. Mayweather, revered for his surgical precision and near-impenetrable defense, took on Pacquiao, a dynamic southpaw whose speed and power had carried him through 8 weight classes. The fight represented the pinnacle of boxing's modern era, two generational talents with vastly different styles meeting on the sport's grandest stage. Analysts like Max Kellerman praised Pacquiao's ability to retain his explosiveness despite the physical demands of moving up multiple divisions, an achievement few in boxing history have matched. Although Mayweather earned the victory by decision, the bout showcased the elite skill, adaptability, and mental sharpness that made both men legends. It wasn't just a contest for supremacy, it was a celebration of two of the finest fighters the sport has ever seen.
What's the worst case scenario? Someone gets seriously hurt. Someone has like life-altering injuries, and that can happen in boxing. We've seen this. Manny Pacquiao isn't immune to this. He's been knocked out. He's been hit. He's not Floyd, who has been hardly hit. Like, he's been knocked out cold. I thought when he got knocked out by Marquez, I thought he died. It was that scary.
Yeah.
Remember that one? So
I do.
Ultimately, I'm most surprised that if it hasn't been officially announced, if it lands in Nevada or California, I'll be very surprised and dare I say disappointed.
In recent interviews, Manny Pacquiao has expressed a clear willingness to face Floyd Mayweather once more, but this time, not for belts or rankings. He's open to an exhibition bout, one designed more for entertainment than legacy. For Pacquiao, it's a chance to give fans the spectacle they crave without subjecting himself to the punishing demands of elite-level competition. His interest reflects a thoughtful balance between passion and practicality. Pacquiao understands that a rematch with Mayweather, even in exhibition form, would captivate the world, blending nostalgia with massive commercial appeal. It also fits within boxing's growing trend of legends returning to the ring for showcase fights, delivering excitement while minimizing long-term risk.
Sugar Ray Robinson, yeah, and then pound for pound. See, Pacquiao he started as a flyweight champ. Not just he started his career there. He was the champion at flyweight, and then moved up. There's so many divisions between flyweight and junior middleweight where he also won a belt. Even the fact that he can compete with Floyd Mayweather, who's a naturally bigger guy and one of the greatest pure boxers. Pacquiao's overall body of work, you could have him really you could have him second pound for pound behind Sugar Ray Robinson.
How come I'm watching highlights of him knocking people out though? As little as he is, man.
That calves, man. He's got those fast twitchies and those big calves to jump in on you and generate a lot of power. Crazy hand speed and power from the southpaw. Really awkward, hard to beat, lightning fast. Pacquiao was all that.
The draw against Mario Barrios threw a wrench into what many believed was Manny Pacquiao's carefully laid path toward a long-awaited rematch with Floyd Mayweather. Pacquiao had aimed to deliver a dominant showing, one that would reignite public demand and push Mayweather back into the spotlight. But instead of a statement of victory, the controversial result raised fresh questions. Is Pacquiao still elite? And would Mayweather even entertain a second bout under these circumstances? Former world champion Frampton didn't hold back in his assessment. He criticized Pacquiao's decision to continue fighting, calling it poorly timed and potentially dangerous. Frampton questioned whether Manny's comeback was driven more by financial motives than competitive fire. He also warned of the harsh realities older fighters face, especially against younger, sharper opponents. In his view, the risks may now outweigh the rewards.
Why not? If he's willing to have a rematch with Ben, I'm okay with that.
How does it go now? This time around, obviously, it's been quite a few years since you guys got in the ring.
It's okay. An exhibition with that decision.
So for how long do you...
Exhibition with that decision.
Uncertainty looms over the prospect of Floyd Mayweather agreeing to a rematch, even in the form of an exhibition. Having retired with an unblemished record, Mayweather has little motivation to jeopardize his pristine legacy. These days, his focus has shifted to promotion and low-risk exhibition bouts designed more for entertainment than competition. Facing a driven and still sharp Manny Pacquiao, even in a non-sanctioned setting, carries too much risk for Floyd. The possibility of being outshined, even slightly, could tarnish the aura he's carefully built. For Mayweather, the stakes may simply outweigh the reward.
It's a joke, really. There's the thought, it's an absolute joke. I love Manny Pacquiao. Love everything about him. An all-time great in terms of what he's done previous, but that doesn't entitle you to just walk back in after 6 years and get a number 4 ranking with the WBC and fight for a world title. What about all the other guys that are waiting around? It's wrong. We seen Manny Pacquiao fight an exhibition against a kickboxer in his last fight, and kickboxers can't box, right? I've seen world champion kickboxers coming and sparring boxers. They can't box. They can kick, but they can't, and they can kick and box a little bit. They can't really box, and Manny didn't look great. I mean, yeah, I don't know. The WBC, I think they have a lot of time for him, Richie Sullivan, but I think it's a mistake, really do, and they should be quite embarrassed allowing a 46-year-old Manny Pacquiao straight in for a world title fight.
Few rivalries in boxing have been as tangled and politically charged as the one between Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. Long before their eventual clash in 2015, their saga was marked by failed negotiations, public finger-pointing, and deep-rooted mistrust. Each side accused the other of stalling. Some pointed to Pacquiao's promotional entanglements, while others argued Mayweather was avoiding the risk. Ironically, the very delays only fueled global anticipation, turning their eventual bout into one of the most anticipated in history. Even years after the fight, that tension lingers. Fans still debate who avoided whom and whether a rematch will ever materialize. Every press quote and rumored offer echoes with a history of missed opportunities and unresolved rivalry.
That Pacquiao was willing to face Mayweather in this situation. He just didn't want to agree to those stipulations. And if the stipulations aren't too ridiculous, I think it is ducking. Pacquiao would then face Joshua Clottey instead on the 13th, and Floyd would go on to face Shane Mosley. Pacquiao beats Clottey by decision, and Floyd beats Mosley by decision. Half a year after the initial negotiations fell through, Pacquiao takes a U-turn and actually agrees on the 14-day blood testing. With the new stipulations, Team Pacquiao...
Timothy Bradley, a former rival and longtime admirer of Manny Pacquiao, has voiced his concerns over the legend's recent comeback. Having shared the ring with Pacquiao, Bradley speaks from experience. His caution comes not from critique, but from respect. He noted troubling signs during the fight with Mario Barrios, defensive lapses, slower reactions, and flashes of vulnerability that hinted at the wear of time. While the draw on the scorecards may have softened the outcome, Bradley believes it concealed a deeper truth, that Pacquiao is no longer the same relentless force. For Bradley, it's not about doubting Manny's heart but preserving his legacy. He hopes the world remembers Pacquiao as the icon who transcended eras, not as a warrior who stayed past his prime.
Telling me, wait, man, you look like a steroid creation? Does he look like some mini Schwarzenegger? Well, I can give you any other things that steroid can do, but not natural hand quickness. So if you're right about how Floyd Mayweather is the greatest defensive tactician in the history of boxing, what should he care about how ripped or big the head is of Manny Pacquiao? Pretty boy Floyd is worried that for the first time in his career, he is going to get hit and hit and hit. He's going to get cut. He's going to get hurt. He is scared to.
In contrast to the growing chorus of concern, one of Manny Pacquiao's recent sparring partners painted a far different picture, one of awe and admiration. Calling it a privilege to share the ring with a legend, he praised Pacquiao's astonishing speed, sharp angles, and fluid movement, even during routine training. His words suggest that Manny hasn't simply aged, he's evolved. This first-hand account complicates the larger narrative. While critics focus on signs of decline, those inside the gym still see flashes of vintage brilliance. It's this blend of doubt and belief that keeps fans invested, holding on to the hope that Pacquiao, even in his late 40s, can still summon greatness when it matters most.
He's not reacting to these shots, man. He's getting offense off, but his defense is just terrible, man. It's hard for him to respond to the defensive side of things, man. And that's the reason why I retired. I started getting hit more and more every time I stepped into that ring, and I'm like, you know what, my time is up. You know, and I'm gonna keep it real. Manny Pacquiao's time has been up. You know, the fact that he's a special type of athlete, he's a legend. He's able to get in there with guys like Mario Barrios, who basically somewhat carried this guy. Who carried Manny Pacquiao? I don't care what anybody say. He carried him. Yes, all he had to do was step on the gas, especially in the middle, the back end of the fight, where he's a younger fighter. He has more energy. He could have gave more. Because obviously he got hit with some straight left hands and he was able to take it. But it didn't seem like he wanted to. It seemed like he was in there to do it.
Pauli Malignaggi sees Pacquiao's recent performance not as a deterrent but as bait. In his view, rather than scaring Mayweather off, Manny's subtle decline might actually draw him back in. Malignaggi points to slight dips in speed, slower reactions, and less spring in Pacquiao's footwork as cues that Floyd could interpret as a green light. For Mayweather, who always calculates risk, this version of Pacquiao might seem beatable enough to make a rematch appealing without jeopardizing his legacy. From Malignaggi's perspective, Pacquiao didn't close the door on a sequel. He may have cracked it open just wide enough for Floyd to walk through.
A lot of people was complaining about the judging. The judging was spot on. Best judges in boxing. Spot on with it. You know, if I scored it, I would have scored it for Barrios. However, the draw, because there was a couple of swing rounds in there, the draw was perfect. Perfect. You know, but damn, I would love to see both these guys' contracts, man. You know, just like the Serrano and Taylor fight, it's similar in that fashion. Both these guys was in there just having a high-level sparring session. That's all it was. I was disappointed in both their performances, to be honest with you, man. So, look, y'all can miss me. Y'all can miss me whatever y'all want to say, man. Pacquiao lovers, I get it. I respect the man as well, but yo, I gotta call it like I see it. You know, and that was a slower version.
Despite the doubt surrounding his age, Pacquiao's performance against Barrios turned heads. At 46, he moved with a fluidity and urgency that many younger fighters struggle to replicate. His combinations were crisp, his timing was on point, and his footwork, always a signature, remained sharp and relentless. While it's clear he's no longer in his absolute prime, Manny showed his far from a faded legend. For fans, it wasn't just a nostalgic display, it was proof that one last blockbuster fight might still be both possible and compelling.
Saw some footage or some images online where you were sparring him, and I've got to be honest, you gave him a very clean dig. And not many people can actually say they've landed good clean punches on Manny Pacquiao. He's a super fighter and very, very quick. What was it like to share the ring, even though it was only sparring, sharing the ring with Manny Pacquiao?
I mean, it was a blessing. Like, Manny Pacquiao himself is a legend. You know what I mean? Manny's a legend in boxing. And to be honest, I don't think I was, well, I know. I wasn't shell-shocked the first time we sparred. It was like I had something to prove.
Sugar Shane Mosley, one of the few men to have shared the ring with both legends, offers a measured yet decisive take. In his view, Floyd Mayweather still holds the strategic upper hand. Mosley points out that Pacquiao's relentless aggression, though electrifying, often leaves defensive gaps that a master technician like Mayweather can exploit with precision. The gap in defensive skill, he says, is too wide to ignore. While Pacquiao overwhelms with speed and flurries, Mayweather's timing, counterpunching, and ability to neutralize offense remain unmatched. For Mosley, that tactical discipline still tips the scales in Floyd's favor.
Considering the point in time we are in boxing, he's actually in a great position because he sucks, but he has a world championship. So you got guys that bring a lot of money that will point to him. Manny Pacquiao just pointed to him. If I'm Floyd Mayweather and I watch that fight, I say, bro, I can beat that guy. Mayweather may come back and say, let me go beat him. Champ. You know? And then, because I guarantee, right now, if Mayweather comes back and fights him, my money's on Floyd. Easy. Right now, I have Floyd's age. Easy. Conor Benn, who I don't even think is that good, could also, but generates a ton of money. Also could point to Mario Barrios. And guys, let me be honest, even if I don't think Conor Benn is that good, he's way ballsier than Mario Barrios. And that alone probably beats Mario Barrios because Conor can punch a little bit as well. So Barrios is in a great position financially, even in the welterweight picture, because it's not a deep welterweight division and he's a low-hanging fruit.
As talk of a rematch heats up once again, fans and analysts are drawn back to the history that shaped their first clash. Over the years, rumors of a second fight have sparked countless times, only to fizzle out due to timing conflicts, negotiations gone wrong, or shifting priorities. But now, with both Pacquiao and Mayweather long past their primes yet still commanding global attention, the possibility feels more tangible than ever. Whether driven by nostalgia, the lure of unfinished business, or a massive payday, the buzz surrounding Mayweather-Pacquiao 2 refuses to die down. And this time, it just might lead to something real.
Pacquiao needs his legs to be explosive. That's how he made a career. That's how he became an A-division champion, an all-time great. And he still has the little bounce on his leg, man. So credit to those big-ass calves that Manny Pacquiao has, because he showed signs of greatness, man. And it was great to see that, but the judges didn't give it to him.
He looked so much better than I thought he was. And I was basing a lot of my opinion on his age and 2 exhibition fights that he fought since his last pro fight, where he looked slow, fleshy, just didn't look anything like the man he used to be. Look, this was not a good fight. I mean, can we just get that out of the way? Like, this looked to me like kind of a high-level sparring session. Just what it looked like I was watching. And some of the numbers back that up. I mean, Pacquiao, he landed 101 punches of 577 thrown. That was 17.5%